From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, this is what it looks like out in Scott Valley. This is the snow in Etna. Thanks to Deborah for sending in this photo. It looks like they got about a foot of snow out there, and there is more snow on the way the rest of the afternoon. And really, even over the next couple of days, we're going to keep those snow levels fairly low. I want to thank Deborah for sending in that photo, and you can do the same. Share your photos from the free Weather NorCal app. By the way, that was one of several photos that I received from many of you sharing your photos. And when you share those from the free Weather NorCal app, just make sure you include your location, your elevation, and how much snow that you ended up seeing. Now, you can see them anywhere during my weather updates, also on Coffee with Krueger Live at 6:30 in the morning to see if your photo ends up making the cut. All right, let's take a look at our weather headlines. We've got low snow levels leading to chain requirements. We've seen that throughout the morning. We're going to see more chain requirements throughout the day today. Off and on mountain snow pretty much for the rest of the day today. Possible thunderstorms for the coast and the valley. And snowflakes are still possible for the valley as early as tonight, tomorrow morning. And I think even many other parts of the valley could see some snowflakes by Thursday morning. We'll get into that here just a little bit later. But let's go and take a look at the chain requirements, because there still are some chain requirements here even midday on I-5, west of I-5 on Highway 299 West 36. Plenty of chain requirements east of I-5 as we'd expect. So the snow, as long as it continues to drop, we will continue to see it accumulating on the roadways, and Caltrans will, of course, do the best they can to help keep those roads clear. But there you can see the snow that we're seeing throughout the day today, and, of course, continue. More activity. You see the snow in the mountains, rain in the valley, rain, and you can see all the activity coming off of the coast. All of that activity is moving eastward and will eventually bring more snow to the mountains and more rain and possible thunderstorms for the valley and the coast. Temperatures still on the cool side, struggling if at all, get out of the 40s for the valley and mainly in the 30s for most of the higher elevations. We've got that spinning area of low pressure over the Gulf of Alaska that's just off the coast of Washington, but all of that colder air has moved in. Now that is all thanks to that cold front really helping to transport that colder air in. That also helped to bring us some of those gusty winds that we did see. Now this cool and unsettled weather pattern will stick around through Wednesday, even Thursday, and Thursday even some colder air moving in. Then we take you into your Friday and Saturday. For now, looks like we'll see a break. Then we've got more cool and unsettled weather moving in for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. This is a pattern that is locked in, and it's going to stick around for a while. All right, so let's take a look at that shorter range futurecast, and let's take you into the afternoon. Some of the showers, possible thunderstorms for the valley off and on through the rest of the afternoon. It's also the case for the coast. Snow levels around 1,500 feet, give or take. That's going to keep us under a lot of those chain restrictions here, not only the rest of the afternoon and this evening, but most likely tonight. Now, I am still seeing the potential for some snow. Here's the bottom line. Earlier this morning, there was no rain or snow in the valley. It was looking like kind of a drier trend. So if we can get a shower to pass through the valley at all in the morning hours, early morning hours, it will most likely be in the form of some very light snow, and at the very least, maybe a bit of a mix. Now, this wouldn't amount to much. It would just be fun to see the snowflakes, and that would really be the extent of it. Now, I don't expect a lot of activity for the first half of the day on Wednesday. Maybe a few snow flurries in some of the higher elevations. You can see the next batch of rain coming in off the coast around midday, but it's going to take a while before it gets here. Now, you can see by late in the day, we're seeing some heavier snow once again to the north and west of the valley. We'll probably start seeing more chain requirements and, of course, a heavier rainfall for the coast. That then pushes through the valley. This is where things get more interesting because we do have the colder air in place. There's no doubt about that. But you can see here, the forecast models are having a hard time figuring out who sees rain in the valley and who sees snow. Bottom line, we do have that colder air in place, and especially if the precipitation is as heavy as it seems here. If that's the case, you tend to see heavy snow. That heavy snow can then draw down and help to bring down some colder air at the surface, and that would allow us to see some snowflakes. Now, with that type of setup, we typically don't see a lot of accumulation. So if we do see snow Thursday morning for Redding, Red Bluff, Corning, Chico, Willows, or Orville, really anywhere in the valley, don't expect much in the way of accumulation. It'll just, again, be kind of fun. And it may be coming down pretty heavy at times in the early morning hours on Thursday. But then, once that shifts off to the east, late morning, we're dry. And we're still seeing the snow off to the east, right? Then we go into Thursday afternoon, maybe some more scattered snow flurries, but we're really kind of on the drier trend, if you will, as we go into Thursday afternoon. Friday now, at this point, looks fairly dry. We may see some fog developing for parts of the valley, but overall dry conditions Friday and most likely even for your Saturday. Now, overall, we're not expecting a lot of rainfall for the coast or the valley over the next several days. I'd expect about a half an inch, give or take, for the valley, and for the coast, probably closer to an inch in some spots here. So you can see the snow on top of what we've already seen taking you into your Wednesday. Yeah, not much more for Weaverville or Hayfork. You're talking 1 to 2 inches. Now you'll notice in the valley, especially once we do go into Thursday morning, a lot of areas in the valley could see trace amounts to maybe 1 or 2 inches of snow once all is said and done. Once again, if it does accumulate, it won't be on the ground for long because it's going to be cold enough for snow, most likely, but not cold enough for that snow to really stick around for very long. And you can see some of the heavier snow and some of those higher elevations, especially off over the Sierra and even parts of Siskiyou County as well. So the winds are going to play a key role here as well. Let's take a look at that. Now you can see the winds are starting to die down here later this afternoon and evening. I do expect much calmer winds for your Wednesday. That should help to support some of that light snow should we see a brief shower pass through the north end of the valley. Then we take you into Wednesday. Now look at Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon, we are looking at gusty winds. Gusty winds continue into the overnight hours. Now here's the key to our forecast. If these winds are still blowing at 20 to 25 miles per hour from the south Thursday morning, all bets are off for snow. But look what's happening. The winds die down just in time for that rain and snow to kick in. In fact, we have a little bit more of a north-northwest wind, which will also help to support that potential for that snow. Now, once that moves out, the winds will start to pick back up again, but still generally coming in from the north and west. So a little gusty even for your Thursday afternoon. So taking a look at your forecast for the rest of the day today, possible showers, possible thunderstorms for the valley, same situation for the coast. Otherwise, for the mountains, you're talking snow off and on throughout the day. This is what I was talking about. It's cold enough to support snow even for tonight for places like Redding and maybe Cottonwood, but as you head south where temperatures are a little bit warmer. But once again, overall, as we go into tomorrow morning, we're just not expecting there to be much in the way of rain or snow for that matter. But as I mentioned, should we see a stray sprinkle, a light shower pass over the Redding area early Wednesday morning, it will most likely be in the form of snow. So that's why I've got morning snow in the forecast for Redding as far south as Red Bluff, and then late in the day Wednesday, more rain coming in. Now I've got the potential for more snow in the valley in the morning on Thursday, early Thursday morning, before we see a drier trend for Friday, Saturday, more wet weather Sunday and Monday. And really across the board, we're expecting that drier trend for your Friday and your Saturday, but yet another round of rain and not to mention high elevation snow by the time we go into Sunday and Monday. That is your afternoon update. I'll be back again this evening for the latest Check Your Weather. We're going to take a look at the latest forecast model data and continue to monitor our potential for snow tomorrow morning in the valley, possibly for Thursday morning as well. So in the meantime, have a happy and safe rest of your afternoon. We'll see you this evening.
When you see flashing lights, someone's life depends on us.
And while we're out helping crash victims, we need your help to keep us safe. Move over, slow down, it's the law, it protects everyone.
Our crews are out here every day, keeping the roads safe for you and your family.
We're often the last ones on scene, and we want to make it home safe too.
Protect those who protect you, slow down and move over.